Hey team, and welcome back to the channel. It's been a wee while, I've been a bit busy, but hey, I'm back again and just going to show you a useful tip today. Okay, so what we'll look at is automatic transmissions and the correct way to fit the torque converter. Now, looking at this old ZF I've got here, and I've got another one in the car to show you that I'm part way through. What we're going to do is show the correct way to fit it and the reason why. So if you don't fit it correctly, ultimately what happens when you start the car, you risk smashing the oil pump and ruining the transmission. Okay, so the rule of thumb is the 3-click method. So what we're going to do is I'm going to sort of show you why it's 3 clicks, and then you get sort of some sort of understanding of what we're trying to achieve when we fit it. So what we've got is an input shaft, or it's comprised of 2 parts really, but there's one spline there, there's another spline, and then we've got an oil pump here at the front, and within that oil pump is a part that locates to the torque converter here. So within the torque converter, hopefully you can see with that light, we've got a couple of splines within here, and then we've got this slot that's sort of machined across here. You can see one there and one there. Now, we've got to put that torque converter in, line up the 2 splines and these 2 slots. These slots are quite critical. They go into the oil pump, and it's quite often when they're not put in properly, they end up, once you bolt that motor home to the transmission, or vice versa, you will break the oil pump, and when you start the car it's definitely broken. Okay, so what I'm going to do is lift this up now and show you how to fit it. Now just remember the 3-click method. It's also worthwhile noting there's an input seal here. They're worth next to nothing, and it's the best opportunity now to replace it. Now when you fit it, just be careful not to damage the input seal. Make sure it's lubricated around here so it doesn't run dry. Okay, so try to lift it up while sort of not obscuring the camera. What we do is we lift the torque converter in, and as we do we turn it at the same time, and we should get 3 audible clicks. So just 1, 2, 3. So there we go. It's definitely located on both those splines. It's gone into the oil pump. Right, so whilst we're at this stage, it's worth noting that it's the best time to put some NTCs around this part here. This goes into it locates into the back of the crankshaft. If we put some NTCs on there, it helps the next guy, so when he goes to remove the gearbox, he can actually get the torque converter out of the crank. Sometimes they can get stuck. And when lifting the box in, or the motor to the gearbox, depending which way, if you're doing a motor swap or transmission swap, I'd suggest that you maybe keep the gearbox slightly elevated at the front, and just be mindful that the torque converter can't fall forward. Now, once it's all together and bolted up, there's another technique I'll show you that you need to know, and make sure that the torque converter hasn't moved on you while doing the install. So I'll just move the camera, excuse the camera shake, and we'll just go to the car that I'm working on now. Okay, this one is not a transmission swap, it's actually motor being fitted. Okay, so looking at this now, we've got the flex plate here. We've got the torque converter, we can see through the sort of a inspection hole, or whatever you want to call it. Now, I've not bolted that to the flex plate yet, and what you want to do now, if you want to make sure that everything is okay, if you're concerned that the torque converter may have popped forward or is no longer located, all you need to do is see if you can spin it with your finger or your thumb, and if it spins freely, you know that it's okay. So at that point of time, it's safe to pull that forward. You could pull this torque converter forward now, and then bolt it to the flex plate. Excellent. Alright, thanks for watching.